Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Red Eyes Black Dragon Flame Swordsman deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck combines two of Joey Wheeler's ace boss monsters into one awesome deck. The Red Eyes Black Dragon and Flame Swordsman. This deck is what I would imagine Joey Wheeler playing if he had a modern day deck, and it's super fun to play. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This card is an awesome combo piece in the deck, and it's just an incredible nostalgic boss monster that we can easily get on our side of the field to be able to use as a fusion material to step into a bunch of different fusion plays. This card really is the dragon of potential, helping us go in for a lot of crazy fusion monsters. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon is a definite 3F in the build because this card is just an incredible extender in the deck, letting you send a level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, and then increasing its level by 1 to make this card a level 7, making it really easy to get your copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon into the graveyard while also getting this card out on your side of the field as a level 7 monster to help you step into a copy of Flare Metal, which is so cool. This card also has the ability during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add a copy of Red Eyes Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, giving you some follow-up, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This card is awesome as a 1F in the deck because it lets you treat a Red Eyes monster to special summon this card from your hand, which is a great ability to be able to tribute a Red Eyes monster from your hand or your side of the field just to get this level 7 monster out on your side of the field to help you go in for plays. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Darkness Metal Dragon is great in this deck because this card is Walking Monster Reborn, and it's a really cool 1-of in the build that we can search off our copy of Black Metal Dragon. This card has the ability you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one face-up dragon type monster that you control, which is great to be able to do, and also once per turn, you can actually bring a dragon monster from your graveyard back to your side of the field, which is an incredible effect just to help you get monsters back on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is great as a 3F in this build because this card can actually work like an equip card, which is amazing. With the ability you can target a Red Eyes monster that you control and equip this monster from your hand or field to that target, giving it 600 attack points. And every single time this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, and that is not a once per turn ability, and we can actually get multiple searches off this card's effect in a single turn, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. It wouldn't be a Joey Wheeler deck without Gearfried, and this card is just really good as a 1-of in the build, with the ability that once per turn, if either player equips an equip card to this card, you destroy those equip cards, then destroy a spell or trap that your opponent controls, and once per turn, you can send one equip card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard, and then target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your grave and special summon it, which is great because you can equip your copy of Black Metal Dragon to this card and then be able to use that ability, which is just really, really nice. I love that ability about this card, just helping you get those cards into the graveyard while also getting a search off your copy of Black Metal Dragon because it will go from the field to the grave, which is really nice. We then play 3 copies of Fighting Flame Swordsman. Now we're getting into the Flame Swordsman part of the deck, and this card is great to be able to use because this card is actually a 1-card combo to summon out Ultimate Flame Swordsman. Because if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a spell or trap that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck to your hand, which is great to be able to search out your copy of Flame Sword Realm so that you can go in for the original Flame Swordsman and then climb into Ultimate Flame Swordsman with our combo. But this card also has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it from your deck or extract to the graveyard, which is always going to be your copy of Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon, so you can get an additional search, which is really nice. We then play 2 copies of Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon. This card is great as a 2-of in the build, and I feel like 2 is really all you need in this deck, because you don't want to see this card in your hand. You want to be able to send it to the graveyard off the ability of Fighting Flame Swordsman, and this card actually is an equip card. Then when this card is equipped to a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, the equipped monster gains 700 attack points. And it also has the ability, if this card is in your hand or grave, you can target a warrior monster you control and equip this card to that monster that you control as an equipped spell, which is a great effect. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Salamandra spell or trap from your deck to your hand, letting you search out our awesome Salamandra fusion, which is great for this card to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is great because it's very easy to summon to your side of the field by actually banishing Salamandra Fusion from your graveyard to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field, making it ridiculously easy to put this card on your side of the field, plus it's a walking negate. We then play a single copy of Infernoble Knight Renald. Renald is great because it helps us recover our equipped spells from the graveyard, and if you control a Fire Warrior monster, you can special summon this card in your hand, and it also recovers Fire Warrior monsters out of the graveyard, which is awesome to be able to get our copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman back out of the grave so we can keep comboing. We then play 2 copies of King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp is awesome because this card is a fusion substitute card that you can use as any one listed fusion material on a monster, which is really easy to be able to use this card as a material to be able to summon out some awesome fusion monsters from our X deck. It also says that you can discard this card to the graveyard to be able to add polymerization from your deck to your hand so we can get a fusion spell so we can step into Red Eyes / Dragon. We then finally play a single copy of Dark Magician. Don't tell Yugi that Joey's using this, but it's really cool in this deck to be able to use because it helps us step into Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is just so cool. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is awesome because it helps us search out our copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman, making Rhoda a 1-card combo. We then play a single copy of Flame Swords Realm. Flame Swords Realm is awesome in the deck as a 1-of because this card helps out a lot to be able to search this card off your copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman. Because this card helps you out a lot to be able to get your copy of your ultimate Flame Swordsman out on your side of the field. Because this card has the ability that your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal summon a Fire Warrior monster. And once per turn, you can actually send a monster from your hand or face up from your side of the field to the graveyard to special summon a Flame Swordsman from your X deck. And this is treated as a fusion summon. And once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, you can actually target one warrior monster that you control, and it actually loses 1,000 attack points, and then all monsters that you currently control gain 1,000 attack points, boosting your monsters up to be able to go in for game. We then play 2 extremely spicy tech cards. I'm actually going to lay face down and we're going to play Guess That Card. So this card is an extremely nostalgic, really spicy tech card that we're going to play Guess That Card with. And the game is you guys got to comment down below what you think this is. And it's a really awesome card. So I'm going to reveal this card in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and definitely hit that bell notification become part of notification squad because we're on the road to 100K subscribers and every subscriber counts. So let's go ahead and check out this really spicy tech card, and it's actually going to be 2 copies of the Claw of Hermos. Did you guys get it right? This card is awesome because it helps you summon out your copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword by using a dragon monster plus this card to be able to get it out on your side of the field, which is awesome to be able to use that card to equip to our ultimate Flame Swordsman because it just is an awesome play to be able to do. This card is awesome in the deck as a 2-of, and you don't draw it all that often when you play it as a 2-of, being able to break with 3. I feel like 2 is the perfect number in the build to be able to draw just a single copy of this card to be able to make Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword, so you can get your copy of Ultimate Flame Swordsman massive in this build. We then play 2 copies of Salamandra Fusion. Salamandra Fusion is awesome in this deck as a 2-of because this card helps us summon out our copy of Ultimate Flame Swordsman because you equip only to a Fire Warrior monster and it gains 700 attack. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can destroy this card instead. And then also has the ability that while this card is equipped to a fusion monster that you control, you can send this card and the equipped monster to the graveyard, and if you do, you get to fusion summon or you special summon a Flame Swordsman or or a fusion monster that mentions it from your extract, and it is treated as a fusion summon, meaning you send your copy of Flame Swordsman to the graveyard to be able to summon out your copy of Ultimate Flame Swordsman, which is a really amazing ability. We then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Fusion. Red Eyes Fusion has so many ways in this build to be able to be searched, which is why I'm just playing 2 copies in the build. Plus, once you activate this card and summon out your copy of Dragoon or Slash Dragon, you're usually just basically ending there, which is why I just play this card as a 2-of for going into turn 3 to be able to activate this card later on in the duel when I've already put out a field on our side of the field to be able to just finish our opponent off and OTK. This card is great in the deck as a 2-of, but I feel like you only need 2 because you can get it with your copy of Meteor and Red Eyes Insight. We then play 3 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization is great as a 3-of in the build because this card is just amazing, helping us fusion summon into a bunch of really cool plays without locking us in like our copy of Red Eyes Fusion. So I actually use Polymerization to summon out our copy of Slash Dragon quite a lot in this build, making this card a definite 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Fighting Flame Sword. Fighting Flame Sword is Rhoda for our copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman, making this card a definite 3-of in the deck, and has the ability that lets us add 1 card from our deck to our hand that mentions Flame Swordsman except another copy of this card, or it has the ability that when an attack is declared involving a Fire Warrior monster you control, you can destroy 1 card on the field, and it also has the ability that when an opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, that you control, negate that effect, giving you all sorts of crazy effects on this card. But this card is actually a 1-card combo because it gets to our copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman, making this card a definite 3-of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Insight. Red Eyes Insight is great because this card lets you send a copy of a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the grave to be able to add a Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, helping you search out your copy of Red Eyes Fusion or one of our other Red Eyes spells or traps, which is just really cool in this build. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Red Eyes Fang with Chain. This card is great and is actually a retrain of Kunai with Chain, making this card a definite 1-of in the build. This card lets you target a Red Eyes monster you control and equip this card to it. And it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase, and you can also send this equipped card to the graveyard and then target an effect monster on the field and equip that target to that monster this card was equipped to, and if you do, while the monster is equipped to it by this effect, its attack and defense become equal to the original attack and defense of the equipped monster, which is a pretty neat ability that you basically send this card to the grave and then equip one of your opponent's monsters to the card this card was previously equipped to, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Salamandra with Chain. Salamandra with Chain is also another retrain of Kunai with Chain, making this card a really cool 1-of, and it actually should target a fire monster on the field and equip this card to it as an equipped card that gives it 700 attack, and also then you can change 1 effect monster on the field to face down defense position, making this card a Book of Moon while also giving one of your monsters 700 attack points, which is really cool. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with Ultimate Flame Swordsman. This card is an awesome 2-of in this build. This card has the ability that you can actually target 1 monster that your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. And it's a quick effect if this card is equipped with a card, which is a great ability. And also at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can double this card's attack and until the end of the turn, but if you do, destroy it during the end phase, which is insane that you can make this card absolutely massive to help you OTK. We then played 2 copies of the original Flame Swordsman. Flame Swordsman is an awesome nostalgic card that's used to be able to summon out your copy of Ultimate Flame Swordsman using this card in Salamandra Fusion, which is so cool. We then play a single copy of Fighting Flame Dragon. This card is actually an equip card, which is super cool about this card because it has the ability that you can quick effect target a Warrior Fusion monster that you control and equip this card from your field or graveyard to that monster that you control as an equipped spell that gives it 700 attack points and lets it attack a second time during each battle phase, which is an insane ability. We then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Red Eyes Slash Dragon is a great boss monster because it actually works with warrior monsters in this deck, which is super cool. It just requires a copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon plus any warrior monster to make this card, and a Red Eyes monster declares an attack. You can actually target a warrior monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card as an equip spell that gives this card 200 attack points. And when a card or effect is activated that targets a card that you control, quick effect, you can actually send an equips card you control to this card to the graveyard to be able to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card, which is a great ability. And if this card is destroyed by battle of a card effect, you can special summon as many monsters from the graveyard as possible that were equipped to this card, which is a great effect, just to help you put a bunch of monsters back on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is an awesome walking negate that this card cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. If you put vanilla monsters into this card like Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician, you can actually use this card to be able to pop monsters on the field and do burn damage to your opponent, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Meteor Black Comet Dragon. This card is great because you can use your copy of Meteor in the main deck, plus your copy of Red Eyes to make this card, and it also lets you send a Red Eyes monster that from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's original attack points, which is great to be able to do a little bit of burn damage to the opponent while summoning out a 3,500 attack point boss monster, and this card replaces itself if it is sent to the graveyard, which is great to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword is summoned out with the Claw of Hermos, and this card has the ability, it just requires a dragon type monster, plus your copy of Claw of Hermos to be able to summon out this card, and it cannot be special summoned by other ways. And if this card is special summoned, you can target one other face-up monster on the field and equip this card to it, giving it 1,000 attack points and 500 attack and defense points plus that for each dragon monster on the field and in the graveyard, just giving your monsters a massive boost, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Flare Metal. Flare Metal is my favorite XZ ever created, and this card does 500 points of burn damage every time your opponent breathes, which is insane to be able to do, and this card is just an amazing one-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Double A Zeus to be able to board wipe the field, a single copy of Typhon because it's so easy to make in this deck and just about in any deck. We then play a single copy of Hieratic Seal because our Black Metal Dragon leads into this card, which is really nice to be able to do because it helps you spin cards off the field while also replacing itself with another monster. We then play finally a single copy of Striker Dragon because you can normal summon out your copy of Black Metal, make this, Black Metal searches out Darkness Metal, banish this, bring back Black Metal to your hand or to your side of the field with your copy of Darkness Metal, and then link them both away for a copy of Seals, getting you an additional search of a Red Eyes card, which is amazing. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Flame Swordsman Red Eyes Black Dragon deck, you should definitely give this deck a try. It's really nostalgic, and it's really what I would think Joey Wheeler would play as a modern day duelist, and it's just so cool to be able to play. This deck is amazing, and it's really, really nostalgic. So, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next so you can become part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.